Welcome to Property Mama Adventures in Real Estate, episode 34. It is here each week we share all about the shenanigans that go on in the world of real estate. If we've not met before, my name is Wendy Chamberlain and I'm a buyer's advocate, a buyer's agent here in Melbourne, Australia. Regular listeners will know there's been plenty of things that we have been chatting about, and one of the short stories that I've been sharing has been a purchase that we made recently and it had a long settlement. Well, it has finally settled, woo! But of course, it wasn't without its last little bit of drama. Would not expect anything less. And so I think the vendor might have felt that they didn't get what they wanted out of the deal. I don't know. They've got their circumstances, but they end up being a little bit petty at the end. But I don't know. You do you, be. That's what they wanted to do. So we organised for the final inspection to take place, and my clients are interstate. They're obviously selling up interstate to move down here to Melbourne. And so when we organise the final inspection, which normally around about a week or so before the settlement takes place, we organised for it to be on a Monday so they could fly down, stay for the weekend, and come and have a look at the property for the final inspection. And they had requested 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, the real estate agent wasn't interested in that. He wanted to have it later in the day. He asked for 4 o'clock. But not only that, he didn't ring us back. We'd organised, we'd emailed to make sure that it was all documented. Never bothered coming back to us. He just rang the client directly and said, I can't do 4 o'clock. I can't do 10 o'clock. I want 4 o'clock. And that wasn't very good for our client either, because they needed to sort themselves out. So the agreement that was made was that the inspection was going to happen at 1 o'clock on the Monday. All good. So time goes by, lead up to the final inspection, and we just get notification that the person that we'd been dealing with, the agent that couldn't make the time, he wasn't even going to be there. He sent his offsider along who met us at 1 o'clock. So I don't quite understand why there was all this hoo-ha about organising the time when you weren't going to show up anyway. It's just another thing. Honestly, dealing with real estate agents can be such a joy sometimes, and sarcasm intended there, because it's been one thing after another with this person. The other thing with these vendors, which I say that I think they got a little bit petty in the end. So part of the accommodation they had been renting out as short stay accommodation, like an Airbnb, and it was full of all the furniture as you would expect for that type of accommodation. You know, you had your couch, you had your bed, you had your kitchen, like an entirely kitted out kitchen with a washing machine, table, chairs, bedding, all the things as you would expect for a normal Airbnb. They asked, this communication came via the solicitors, they asked whether our client was prepared to take all these items, take all this furniture, because remember, this vendor had moved interstate, so they weren't around at the moment anymore. So it would be super convenient for them just to bank their money and not have to come out and clear out the rest of the stuff out of their house. And so they had quoted, they'd itemized everything, and they had quoted that in their eyes, all of these items were worth $25,000. So they suggested that as a price for our client to pay to take the linens, the bed, the artwork, all the things within this property. Bear in mind, these are very used items. You can imagine how much things have been used, where it's an Airbnb, short stay accommodation, where they have had multiple different parties, lots of different people coming into the property on a regular basis and utilising all the items. And so understandably, our client said, no, not interested at that kind of price, which was just ludicrous. We looked at the list and I said, look, we'll go through the list. And then when we do our final inspection, we'll have a look at all the items and then we'll make a decision about what, if anything, we would like to take, which is fair enough because they wanted to inspect it and they were interstate. So when they were back in the state, they could have a look at it. So at the final inspection, we had a look at all of this furniture, including a desk, all kinds of things that you would have in an Airbnb. All very, very, very well used. Yeah, you can just imagine. The bed, the frame, you put your head in it. Yeah, no. So, and things were chipped, and so there was a small number of things that they said that they would take, but most of the stuff, like, you really want linen that's been stained, and it just, yeah, no, they weren't interested. And so the counter offer, we said, well, we don't want most of the things, but there are some items, if you wanted to, this is what we're prepared to offer to you. They obviously cracked it and said no. So they just said, no, we'll take everything out. So when my clients settled the property, because at the final inspection, that's your opportunity, as I've spoken about before, to test things, make sure things are working. And there was rubbish that we asked to be removed, and I've talked before about all the pigeon poo. And so they cleaned up some things, but they decided that when they took everything out, they just ripped out pipes, like the washing machine pipes, which is all behind cabinetry. They could have left that stuff there. But no, they just ripped everything out and took things that made other things work. They said that the blinds were automated, that the battery was just flat. Well, it wasn't just flat, because they charged the battery, our clients, and it doesn't work. So in the end, I think they just cracked it. And that's what happens. So, but we have finally settled. Yay. And that's the end of that one, I hope. But it just reiterates for you the importance of doing final inspections, which definitely was the case here. And our clients are over the moon. They're so happy with the property because they've got their dream home, and they'll just make it theirs now, and they may do the updates as they choose to do. So that was very exciting for them. It was very satisfying for us, because it's what I love to do, is work with clients and help them buy their dream home, and that's what we did. One of the other things I feel I need to mention, because I have a few people that listen in to the podcast who are real estate agents, are buyers advocates. So these are people that are going into houses all the time. So here's just like a public service announcement. You know that they've got cameras in the houses. A lot of people have cameras. And I'm bringing this up because let's circle back around to agents behaving badly. And in particular, doing things they probably shouldn't be doing, you should not be doing. So let me share a little story about a real estate agent that either didn't know there were cameras or maybe didn't even care. So clearly he gets about town with somebody that he's not his wife, and they decided that they would have some fun in the garage of one of their vendors. So I do not think it was at the open for inspection. Perhaps there was no, I'm going to say that there's probably nobody home at that point in time, but for whatever reason, he has gone there with this other person, and they decided that they were going to have fun in the garage. And lo and behold, there are cameras in the garage. And clearly the vendor checked the footage and saw what was going on. So I don't know if you've got cameras at your place, but the way a lot of these cameras work is you can actually see on your device, on your phone, they are connected. And so when the cameras pick up on something, you get a notification, you get a ping. So I don't know if it was live or if it was footage that was checked later, but this particular real estate agent was caught out on camera doing things in a house that was not his, that he should not have been doing. So the vendor sacked him. He lost the listing because clearly the vendor wasn't. I wouldn't be happy with that either. But yeah, obviously confronted the real estate agent and said, "I've got footage of what you were doing, basically having sex in the garage, and I don't want you to be the one selling my property anymore." And so the vendor took the listing off the real estate agent. He lost it. And I have heard that this is not the first time that this real estate agent does that kind of stuff. So, and I do know which real estate agent this is. And I have had to deal with this real estate agent, and yeah, typical real estate agent. Yeah. So interesting. So, public service announcement, there are cameras. Another one that I heard about, and I also do know this real estate agent as well. It makes it a little bit awkward, doesn't it, when you hear about the things that the real estate agents get up to, and when you actually know who the real estate agents are, and when you then speak to them, genuinely inquiring on a property that they have for sale for one of your clients, and having to kind of just keep a straight face and keep things professional, because that's what I do, but you know what they've been up to. So another particular real estate agent was at an inspection, and after everybody had gone, they were caught, this time not on a camera per se, they were caught on the baby monitor. And they were caught by themselves on the baby monitor going through the underwear drawer of the person that lived there. And it wasn't actually the vendor's property, it was a tenant. There was a renter in this property that was being sold. And so this agent has taken upon himself to have a little bit of a look-see and a peekaboo into the underwear drawer of the people that lived there. My goodness me. So that clearly was picked up on the baby monitor, and they saw that, and then that was flagged and brought to the attention of that person. Oh, dearie me. Very important for you to know that things are monitored. Wherever you go, you can basically just, when you're going through, even as a buyer, if you're going into somebody's house or approaching somebody's house, etc., know that there are cameras. You can see the cameras everywhere now, all around the street. A lot of houses have cameras on them, and they get triggered by just movement of things. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're out and about. Just keep things to yourself, behave yourself, because people are watching, and honestly, we don't need to see that kind of stuff. And it's, yeah, don't be doing that kind of stuff, whatever that might be. So there you go. Very, very interesting thing. And it's even owners. I know lots of real estate agents have tales of having found things like in people's bedrooms that they've left out. I remember somebody saying that they were getting a tour of a vendor's property. That vendor was looking to sell the property, and they're getting shown around, and they're walking around, and the woman owner, she's obviously realised that something was left out on the bedside, so in her private space, but she's brought in real estate agents in to have a look at her property. And then she's realised, she's walked into the bedroom to show them the bedroom, and then she's seen the toy on the side table, and she's shimmied over there, and she's kind of like doing this to kind of say, nothing to see here, look over there, look over there. She's trying to just, you can imagine, have you ever had that conversation with yourself when you're trying to keep a conversation going, when you've seen something out of the corner of your eye that you don't want other people to recognize or to notice, and so you just keep talking, just trying to direct their attention somewhere else. So that's what this person was doing. It's very funny, and I've heard many stories of that type of thing, i.e. that things are left out in bedrooms, etc., that should have been put away. So they are put away for inspections, but yeah, so fun times in land of real estate. So how's your search going at the moment for real estate? Are you looking for property at the moment? Because we that is what we do here at Chamberlain Property Advocates. One of the reasons why clients come to us and have us support them on the property buying journey is for being able to know the process and to get things done quickly. So my fastest to buy a property for a client is 1 day. And technically it was 12 hours, but they wanted to think overnight. So, and that can come about because of me having relationships with real estate agents established over a long period of time. I've been buying and selling real estate for nearly 30 years. So I know a lot of real estate agents, which is why I know about some of the shenanigans that go on with what we've talked about today. So it's through our relationships with real estate agents that when a client comes with their brief, so I had a call from a person on the weekend that I had been, someone had mentioned to me about them, like a potential, they're a buying person, so a potential client, and they'd mentioned this person to me a month ago and said that this person was had just sold their house and they're looking in a particular area of Melbourne and they can't find what they want. And I said, okay. And he said, look, I've given her your details. Hopefully she'll give you a call. I said, okay. Now, obviously that happens all the time. And it's up to the person being ready, if you like, to reach out and ask for us to be able to help them. Now, that happened on the weekend. This particular person gave me a call and said, oh, this such and such has recommended we give you a call. I said, yes, yes. He mentioned a month ago. So this person has sold their house and had to move out. And so for a month, they have moved into and been living in an apartment. She's not enjoying living in an apartment. And in the middle of us having our conversation, she said, oh, hang on a minute, somebody's knocked on the front door. I said, okay, so, you know, hold music while she's gone out, and she had to move her car. So wherever she's living is telling her to move her car, move things, and like she's come back and she's like, oh, you know, it's just not working living here. So I told her about the services and so forth. And what I said to her is that my quickest to buy property is 1 day. Now, this particular area of Melbourne where she's looking, I have very good relationships with real estate agents there. I know I could find her something inside of a week. So her frustration right now is that she says she's looked everywhere, she can't find anything, but she doesn't have established relationships in those areas. Also, one of the difference with working with a buyer's advocate, a buyer's agent, is that the real estate agents know that we are professionals, we're in the industry just like they are, we know what we're doing, and it's our ability to put things together, obviously doing our due diligence and knowing what we're doing, but the speed in which we can put things together and make sure all the ducks are lined up and also making sure the ducks are in the right order is one of the absolute skill sets that we bring to the table. So this lady who is on the phone and is clearly frustrated, having lived in an apartment after living in a massive house, lived in this apartment for a month and the neighbours are telling her to move her car, and I can hear the frustration. And then she says she wants to think about it. And okay, fine. So I'll give her a call in a little bit to see how she's going. But this is where we come to the fore, because I 100% know that I can find her the perfect home for her. The ones that she's saying she can't find anything, I could ring agents in the area and I could have 3 to 4 like that for her. So that is what we do for you as your advocate. We have that insider knowledge and those relationships that I keep saying with real estate agents. So if that's you and you need that supporting hand, even if it's that you've just found a property and you would like us to bid at auctions for you, because we are very skilled at that, or if you'd like us to negotiate to purchase a property. You might have found a property but don't feel that that's your wheelhouse to be able to negotiate to purchase a property, that 100% is what we do as well. So reach out if that is something that is of interest to you across any of our socials, or you can come to our website, www.chamberlainadvocates.com.au, or pick up the phone and give us a call. The other thing that I wanted to share is, if you are looking to educate yourself around how to buy a property, we do have our Get Started in Property.com.au self-paced mentoring program. So those ducks that I talk about, that's what we share with you, what they are, what they look like, and the order in which you need to put them in to gain that confidence. So that program is if you would like to know more about what's involved to buy real estate and have a go at doing it yourself. It's specifically designed. I've taken my almost 3 decades of knowledge and I've popped that into this course for you. You follow along the bouncing ball at your own pace in the pockets of your time, and it is designed to give you that confidence that you need to be able to know the questions to ask, know how to negotiate, know how to become an area specialist, to really wrap your teeth around being able to buy yourself your dream home. So if that's something that appeals to you, make sure you go to getstartedinproperty.com.au. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Property Mama Adventures in Real Estate. There's always something fun for us to share and talk about. If you're enjoying the podcast, I would love for you to give us a thumbs up and also share it with your friends, family, colleagues, others that you feel may also enjoy our podcast, because that is how we reach and help more people. I certainly have fun each week sharing with you the stories that I have heard about, experienced in the world of real estate, and I hope you do too. So that's it for this week. I look forward to having you with me on the next episode of Property Mama Adventures in Real Estate. And whatever you're doing, wherever you are, have a good one. Bye-bye for now.